Welcome, everybody. We're opening the Idea Vault once again today and giving you a peek behind the curtain into how we generate and evaluate startup ideas. So, today's problem that we're addressing is outside is cold in the winter, folks. This is a huge deal. It's now not a big deal for me. I live in Los Angeles, but Neil is still trapped in the icy northern reaches of Michigan. Um, well, you just ran into this problem, right? It
Yeah,
snowed a bunch, right? And then it
yeah,
froze all the snow.
yeah. It froze or it snowed and then melted and then froze. And I did not want to run in that. So there goes a
A
running
day of
opportunity.
because it's cold outside in the winter.
Yep.
I think so. Oh, I have a connection here. I wrote an article. Did I put the article in here? I didn't. I need to find the article. Sorry, folks. Um, I also need to make sure I get the right link for this because I have it published in two places. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do this way. So I wrote an article about why I'm outside more in Los Angeles versus in Michigan, which sounds dumb, but my point is that I am outside more on a normal day in Los Angeles than I am on a beautiful day in Michigan. And I think it's because um, you're like consistent. It's consistently warm in Los Angeles, and the cold in the winter in Michigan like changes your habits and like screws them up. So that reminds me of this, like the fact that the seasons are that intense is really problematic for forming some healthy habits like running. Like
Mhm.
I was running in September pretty consistently, and then it got really freaking cold, and I said I'm done running. So yeah,
It's just getting into, the nice season.
then the nice it's just getting into the nice season now.
No, September.
Oh, September. Yes, that's true.
No.
September
Um,
is nice in Michigan, but
yeah. Um, yeah, so tell me more about some of these solutions you have.
oh, they're great. Um, I really like the idea of a solar panel greenhouse. So I think this was one of my coworkers' ideas actually that I've republished here with permission. Um, like so when I lived in Oregon, we had a greenhouse set up, and when it would get cold there, the greenhouse would stay relatively warm, because they were on the side of a mountain, like facing the sun, and so that was really really nice place to be when it was chilly. So we'd work in the mornings, and even out in this part of Oregon, and it'll hit 30s in like June and July in the mornings, and so the hack was to go into the greenhouse and warm up because it was actually still warm in there. Um, the other one is, yeah. What do you think of that one? Do you have any?
Well, I guess a lot of these ideas are how to turn outside
Mm,
inside,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
right? It's okay, yeah, three season porch, restaurant bubbles, greenhouses are all
Oh yeah,
sort of inside.
yeah. Actually, yeah.
So I think, some other solutions like you know, more addressing other issues. Think of like the Holland snowmelt system. So the city where we went to
Oh,
college
you're
in,
right.
the
Oh,
downtown
that's a
area
great.
has heated sidewalks, so all the snow melts. Um, and that addresses the issue that I had with running this morning was not that it was cold, it was ice and snow, and that would address that.
That's it. I forgot about the Holland. I took that for granted. I completely took it for granted.
Yeah, no, it's so
Oh,
nice.
I didn't even think
um
about that. And Grand Rapids does not have that. Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
Other options, um, you know, and oftentimes in downtown areas, there are those fireplaces and they're
yeah.
congregation points, but they could be, you know, much better. Um, well, you know, partly because they're natural gas and natural gas fires are pretty cold, um, and less cozy than wood fires.
So switch from natural gas to wood fires.
I mean, that's what I would prefer, but I
So for
understand
hotter
why.
fire, like
Yeah,
so build and then build more comfortable infrastructure. Like Holland has them, but it's like all these like like brick benches. Like it's just
yeah,
not a
it's brick
very
benches that are, you know, 8 feet away, and they're just not warm. So you need to like stand right next to it
yeah.
in order for it to be nice and, you know, cozy.
Yeah.
There are other options that so all of these are sort of, you know, how can we make winter more, you know, summery in various forms.
Hmm.
There's also, you know, embracing winter, you know, and skiing and snowshoeing, you know, and the proliferation of that kind of thing. Because I'm sure when you were a kid, you know, and you had a snow day, you weren't like, oh, bummer, it's cold. You were like, hooray,
No.
I get to go sledding.
Yeah. Yeah. Like so making more of these spaces available. You're right. Like what if the city subsidized skis or snowshoes for everyone and like said,
Yeah.
we're gonna
Or,
expand.
you know, had places that, like, I don't know, in Grand Rapids, what are there places I can go to go snowshoeing? I don't know.
I mean Millennium Park, people go there to
Yeah,
ski and snowshoe.
so there's
Yeah.
sort of these mixed use places where,
Yeah, that's a
you
very
know,
mixed. Yeah.
yeah,
I think that's a great point. And this is something my therapist said to me about, because I struggle generally in winter. And he was like, I went cross country skiing with my fiance and he was like, that is excellent. Like you basically need a reason to get excited about winter. And like if that means you can cross country ski, like that's a game changer. Yeah.
yeah. I also think that, you know, we have sanitized our inside environments too, where most
Mm,
places inside it doesn't feel any different, you know, depending on the season.
yeah.
You know, in the summer we have the AC, so it's at, you know, 72 or, well, it, you know, we probably have it set at, you know, 68 in the summer, and then in summer or in winter we have the heat set at, you know, 75. And to me that just seems bizarre. Why would we have it colder in summer than we would in winter?
Yeah.
But if, you know, and there are times and places where AC is, you know, very nice and even essential, but, you know, in summer you just accept that it's a little bit warmer, you open the windows, let the breeze go through, and that's very summer. And in the winter you get a, you know, a wood stove.
Yeah. I think a wood stove's a great solution.
You create a nice place where you just want to hang out there. And
Yeah. So it like creates cozy gathering places.
yeah,
Yeah, because like so for example in Oregon we lived in this little cabin and the living room had the wood stove in it. And then we had two bedrooms and then um way off to the other side was my room, the Nook, which is this little add-on tiny room, but like none of our bedrooms would get very warm because the wood stove wouldn't heat all the way out there. So like if we
mhm,
were reading a book at night or if we were working on homework, we were in the living room.
Yep.
And then two, it made it easier. Like there's some people who didn't like to tend their fire. And so they would come to our house because we were keeping the fire really hot.
Hmm.
And then that warmth drew people from all over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I actually really like these ideas. This
Yes. I think it's really, to me, this is really fun to think and talk about.
I know.
I'm not sure there's anything really actionable.
No, I don't think so. I don't
I,
know
and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
no. And I think what's interesting, so we did buildings around to utilize, and that ended up splitting into a bunch of ideas, or two separate problems. I think this one is it's one problem for all these. I let's vote. Let's vote on this problem and see kind of what
What problem are we voting on?
outside is cold in the winter.
But that's, I think, similar to um buildings are underutilized. We just threw a umbrella problem tag on it and we didn't vote on it.
Hmm. Do you think, like, are these different problems this is addressing? Yeah, you're right. This is addressing that, like, it's hard to move around
Yeah,
outside. Like,
I think
it's hard to
each
gather
one of
outside. Like,
those titles is its own
its
idea.
own. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's, we could just choose, because I'm not sure. I guess
I think,
turning outside inside, those could be actionable. Um,
I mean, these are also actionable. Like, these are just actionable on a city level.
yes.
Like,
Yeah.
this is actionable. This you could do outside of a city. Like you could, and this you could too, really, honestly. You could, if you have a business, you could,
Yeah.
like a storefront, you could do that. And then this is a personal choice. But
Yeah.
I think we should split these out into different problems, like the other one, and let's put umbrella on this, and you'll see these problems once again. All right. Thanks for joining us, folks. Till next time.